Okay, I'm back with another free reading. This free reading is for Krista. So, Krista wrote me a while back. She said, "Hey, Ravina, my name is Krista, and I have ordered a previous reading from you a while back and plan on getting another one soon. You are amazing at what you do." Thank you, Krista. To get to the point, I have always wanted to do music, as in become a rap artist or manage one, produce, as well as fashion design, just expressing myself creatively. I have so many songs written and recorded, as well as clothes made throughout the years, but I have a hard time actually publicly displaying my work or taking the next step. I'm very conservative and worry too much that it won't be good enough, perfect. My question is, are these dreams that I have, will I ever have the courage to fulfill? Or is it time to move on? Thanks for your help and keep the videos coming. So Krista is a Scorpio born November 1st, 1990. So that one birth number endows you with a lot of creative energy, first and foremost. And then you have a ton of creative energy through your Leo South Node and your Jupiter in Leo. But that Leo South Node, that's part of the main problem. Actually, that's the underlying main problem as to why you feel like you can't publicly display your work. So, your South Node's at the second degree of Leo. That second degree is very personalized because it's like the moon in Cancer. And then to add insult to injury, your South Node is conjoined to Chiron in Cancer, and it's in the fourth house. So your creative expression is very personalized and you're very guarded when it comes to it. And you really don't want to share your work with the world because you're afraid of public scrutiny when it comes down to it. So what you need to do is step outside of yourself, or try to step outside of yourself. When I say that, I mean really try to step away from the ego orientation that the Leo South Node has conditioned you to basically assume in life. So that Leo South Node can make you very much about ego orientation. And when you are very much attached to your ego, it can be very hard to put your work out there because, of course, if you put your work out there, you're going to be facing criticism, scrutiny, all types of stuff. So you have to really step away from your ego. And the way you do that is don't make your music, your fashion designs about you. Make them about the designs and the music itself. Make it its own separate entity and detach yourself from it once you produce it and release it. Now, in terms of your strengths, I see your greatest strength being writing. So the songwriting thing, you say you already have a number of songs written. That is your main strength because you're Aries rising with Mars, your chart ruler, in Gemini. Gemini is the sign of writing. Your Mars is in the second house, and that deals with being a songwriter. So you definitely have what it takes to be a class A songwriter and to make a name for yourself through being a songwriter, especially because Mars is in sextile to your ascendant. So the ruler of your chart is in sextile to your ascendant. That is major right there in terms of making a name for yourself through writing in particular. You could also do it through rapping, but keep in mind with that Leo South Node, you're really not supposed to be the star in this lifetime. You're supposed to make stars out of other people, and that's part of that Aquarius North Node. And what reinforces that is you got Taurus on the second house cuts, and that deals with making money through music. It can deal with that, and in your case, very much so, because you have the 16th degree of Taurus on the second house cusp, and that 16 reinforces the theme of music. So you have Taurus on the second house cusp, and we got to look at Venus. So Venus is in Scorpio, conjoined to the sun. They're both at the ninth degree, so very tight conjunction, and it's in the seventh house. That is you making music for other people. You could look at it as writing songs for other people as well. And you can also look at that as you being a manager of talent, you being a manager of artists, like you wrote in the email. So I see that in your destiny as well. So I see one of your strengths being songwriting, and you already know it's your strength, but I'm telling you, it's like your key strength, and that's what you really need to capitalize upon, especially because Mars is in the second house. but you also have Sun conjoined Venus. That's just good for music, period. It's in Scorpio, and Scorpio is good for being a manager. In the seventh house, that's dealing with other artists. So again, you making stars out of others, making hits for other people, but also where you could manage talent as well. You also have Mars and Gemini in sextile to Jupiter in Leo in the fifth house. That Jupiter and Leo in the fifth house, that is very creative. Like, that's highly creative energy right there. That right there is you basically writing for a number of artists. And some of these artists may not even be in the United States. You could be writing for artists in the UK, writing for artists, elsewhere in the world. And I do feel like you really need to expand as much as possible. So if you're just writing music in one genre right now, I feel like you need to expand into other genres just to cover multiple bases and to be as diversified as possible, which would definitely put more money in your pocket and it would make you more prominent. That Venus Sun conjunction in the seventh house in Scorpio can make you very prominent in terms of music. Now, about that Aquarius North Node, it's in your 10th house. So, in order for you to really step away from this strong ego orientation that you have and this whole personalization of your creative works, what you need to do is align yourself with a team of artists, a team of singers, songwriters, producers, what have you, people in the music industry. You need to be part of a group or a collective. Like, I'm trying to think. There's a number of them. Why can't I think of any right now? But like in terms of rap, the Flavor Unit was one. And like that was part of Tribe Called Quest, Queen Latifah. You need to be part of a group. Once you do that, and once you cut your teeth, you can try to be more about that solo, doing solo acts and stuff, or being more of a solo writer. But just to get that confidence and to get your work out there, you really need to align yourself with a collective, a team of artists, a group of artists, what have you. And the sooner you do it, the better, because you say you already have some songs written. So all you need to do is take that leap forward, take that leap of faith. And you do have Sagittarius on the ninth, Jupiter in Leo in the fifth. So that could deal with taking a leap of faith in terms of your creative expression, in terms of your artistic talent. So also that can deal with you traveling the world at some point. But also, like I said, because Jupiter is in sextile to Mars, you definitely need to expand beyond just one genre. If you're writing for two genres, think about writing for four genres. So really try to diversify, which is also about Mars and Gemini as well. You also got that Aries moon in the first house. So that's part of the reason too why you're having this issue with that whole personalization, because you're very much holding on to your artistic expression, to your works of art, to your music, even your fashions. You're holding on to it tightly, like this is mine, this is my baby. But like I said, once you create the work, once you write the songs, once you create the fashions, then you have to let it go and just let it become an entity in and of itself and detach yourself from it. Also, you mentioned the fashion. I see you being good at that as well. You got Virgo on the sixth house cusp, and then you got Mercury conjoined to Venus in the seventh. Since it's in Scorpio, however, that could deal with, again, collaborating with maybe other designers or collaborating with a distributor where they're mass producing your design. So you create the design, but then you find a distributor to mass produce, or just not a distributor. What would that be? Like a sewing factory or whatever, where they would actually create your fashions or whatever. So yeah, you have a lot of work ahead of you, but I'm definitely seeing where you should not move on. You should definitely not give up on your dream. And hopefully I gave you a little push to really help you out, because I definitely see it in your chart. Music is all up in your chart, the theme of music, but so is fashion. But again, your chief strength is in writing. So definitely focus on the writing first and then take it from there. So I hope I was able to provide you with some insight. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email or you can post a comment in the comment section. And if anybody would like a reading, a free reading within the next couple of months, send me an email, write free reading on the subject line, include your birth information, date, location, and time, and include a detailed question. Now, I get a lot of requests for free readings, so I can't get to everybody. I can only get to like a handful. So if you would like some insight now, if you would like an in-depth reading, you could go to my website at rabina.com, click order a reading at the top, and I'll be right at your service. I'll be back with more videos. Peace and many blessings.